The most thrilling, spine-tingling series ever.
From the pages of R.L. Stine's best-selling books,
And the screams go on forever and ever.
We now return to Goosebumps.
Greetings, Goosebumps fans, young and old, big and small, living dead and undead. Welcome back to the Goosebumps Crew Podcast. As always, I am your host, Isaiah Vargas. I'm joined by my good buddies, Bjorn Palnick and Nick Shaw. We are the Goosebumps Crew, and we are back, as always, to talk some Goosebumps. If this is your first time joining us here on the Goosebumps Crew, once sincerely welcome you all. If you are, or have ever been, a fan of the popular Goosebumps series of books, or the monster franchise those books spawned, I have a feeling this podcast is going to be right up your alley, because as I always say, me, Bjorn, and Nick are some of the biggest Goosebumps nerds on the entire planet. We can talk about Goosebumps for hours on end, and that's exactly what we do here on this podcast. Every week we got a brand new episode talking about everything Goosebumps, whether it be the books, TV shows, movies, video games, merchandise, whatever it is. If it has Goosebumps in the name, we're going to talk about it so much that you are going to be sick of the word Goosebumps by the time you are finished hearing us talk about it for hours on end. So with all that said, if you end up liking today's episode, make sure you leave a like and comment. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell notification to get updates when new episodes go up every Wednesday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. If you are, however, just dying to get those episodes early, you can catch the audio-only versions a day early over on our audio platforms. We're available on platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes go up every Tuesday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, you can follow the Goosebumps Crew over on social media. We're available on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and a few other platforms, as well as Bjorn and Nick are available on at Goosebumps Aussie Fan and Chowan, respectively, on their social medias and their YouTubes. All those links are in the description below, so check them out. Join the Goosebumps Crew today, become a crew member. We thank you in advance for your support. Alrighty, guys, we are kicking off season 6 of the Goosebumps Crew. That's right, we are here with episode, I believe this is episode 76. So we got a very special one in store for you today because we are delving back into the world of Goosebumps collecting once again. Probably our, strongest suit in terms of being Goosebumps fans is how much Goosebumps shit we collect. So we're delving back into that today.
Language!
And of course, as always, when we talk about Goosebumps collecting, we can't do it alone. So, joining us today on the podcast, first of all, I want to welcome back our very good friend, Mr. Tyler Young, 90s Kids Throwbacks. Tyler, great to have you as always.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And joining us for the very first time is another very dedicated Goosebumps fan, Goosebumps Guru on Instagram, Adam, our good friend. How you doing today, Adam?
Good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you, and welcome to the Goosebumps Crew. First time here on the podcast, and hopefully not the last.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so today on the podcast, as I said, we're talking about Goosebumps collecting. More specifically, we're going to get into some of the very rare gems here in the Goosebumps world of merch. So, of course, as we always say, you've heard it ad nauseum at this point, Goosebumps was everywhere in the 90s. Everywhere. It was a huge sensation. There were tons of different products, tie-ins, promotions to promote the books because you had of course, the very successful book franchise. You also had a very successful TV show. So, of course, Scholastic was cashing in on the brand and doing everything they possibly could. So, naturally, that led to a lot of merch. And some merch is certainly more rare than others. And today we're going to talk about some of the rarest merch items in the Goosebumps franchise. So some things are easier to find than others. Honestly, I would say Goosebumps merch is pretty hard to come by in general. especially nowadays. It usually seems like anytime you find something on eBay for Goosebumps merch, somebody's probably charging more than it actually is worth. Whether you go on eBay or Mercari or whatever, even a small little, Taco Bell toy is probably going to cost you like $30. So,
which is absurd.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
I'd love to know where these prices come from, because if you go even by sales sold, not like what people are asking, not active listings, but sold, they're nowhere near some of the prices that these people are asking, and it's just like, there's going to be one day though that someone's going to buy it, and then that's going to set the new price standard for a Taco Bell toy. And then it's just going to go higher and higher. And it's like, ridiculous. Bro, it's a Taco Bell toy.
Yeah.
It's sending me broke, guys. I have no money. I just spent I bought a $250 item, which cost me over $400. But I had to have it because I've never seen this. Nick knows what it is, but I'm not spoiling it. I'm waiting till it arrives. But it's something that I didn't even know came in packaging until just now. So 25 years later, I had no idea. I thought maybe it would have had a tag, but the thing came with packaging. So it's like we're learning new things every day collecting Goosebumps. Or there's like certain items that were packaged differently, like re-releases. So yeah, it's crazy. And people ask for ridiculous money because they're like, hey, it's got a tag on it, so I want an extra $300.
Well, and another thing that Bjorn is very much aware of, because he has so many Goosebumps things, but just in general, is that with a franchise as big as Goosebumps, you never know what you're going to find. And it seems like every single day we're finding something new in terms of Goosebumps merch. Like, I remember the day, I always talk about this. I remember the day I found out there was Goosebumps soap. There was Goosebumps soap. Was it
This
Monster Blood
Goosebumps soap? This Goosebumps soap?
I didn't know
this
that.
Is literally, I've got it wrapped in like plastic, but it's shampoo, foam
soap.
It says, what does it say? It says foaming, probably hard to see, but foaming monster blood.
Monster blood.
This is actual shampoo soap.
I'll give you $20 if you use it.
It still has some in it. And I only worked that out when I went to, because I started cellophane wrapping a lot of stuff, like to preserve it. And I said, I wonder if there's any in this. And I actually sprayed it, and so, it was coming out. I couldn't believe it. So I was like, whoa, there's still some soap in it. And oh man, it
sure
smelled.
I'd be
great.
afraid to touch it.
30-year-old soap.
I'm sure it smells great.
Yeah.
It smells really great. I love it, but yeah.
I was actually hoping, I didn't know what kind of soap it was. I was hoping it was Monster Blood, so I'm very glad that I was right.
No, it's just white. It's not like green or anything.
Oh man, it's not green soap. What a ripoff.
It's so random, man. Like, but it's funny how you said soap, and I'm like, I have it right here.
Well,
what it is.
Just an example of, like, you never know what the kind of things that you could find in the Goosebumps world in terms of merchandise. But today we're going to take a look at some of the rarest pieces that we can think of, at least, because there's a lot. And of course, as I said, we always like to bring other folks on when we talk about collecting and merch, because, we're not the only ones in the world that collect Goosebumps stuff, or, stuff in general from the 90s and 80s. So Adam, since this is your first time, as I said, you are also a very dedicated Goosebumps collector yourself, and you've been able to score a lot of different Goosebumps items over your time. Can you tell us some of the rarest pieces that you have found?
Yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, I do a lot of collecting and selling. So I have like a big eBay store, which I've done deals with Nick. I've done deals with Bjorn.
And me soon.
And yeah.
Soon.
Looking forward to it.
Soon.
So honestly, a lot of the stuff that I find, I will resell, and some of the stuff that's harder to get rid of, I'll hold on to. But specific story, probably one of the rarest, probably the rarest thing I've ever found was something that I sold to Bjorn, which you might remember, the Goosebumps snow boots, which
Yes, you did.
Yes, which
I got them.
I had no idea at the time just how rare they were. And I remember like watching the YouTube video you put out after you bought them for me and like how excited you were. And I was like, that's awesome. Like I didn't even realize like, you know, that you had never seen them before. And, you know, coming from you, that means a lot because you've seen everything.
Thanks, man. Just the artwork on it, like it wasn't like the cartoony stuff you see, like, you know, like of Cuddles. It was like an actual Tim's art, like of the ice skating, obviously.
Yeah, it was the same art that was used on the '97 calendar. Yeah,
on the calendar.
Yeah,
and it was just like the most unique pair of Goosebumps shoes, snow boots, you know, like I've ever seen. So I was like, I have to have those, and I wrap those up in plastic because, like, you know, over time, like shoes can start to like fray or whatever. So like even they ended up in cellophane because I was like, I don't want anything to like crumble off. I want it to just preserve and stay, you know, as is. So, thank you for that.
Yeah. I'm glad you're taking care of them. I know this. I know they're in good hands. Yeah,
they're in good hands. Everything in that room's in good hands.
Did you try them on?
I have the vacuum seal.
I don't think they would fit. Actually,
Okay.
size. You know what? They're right there. I'm gonna go and grab them. Keep talking.
Are we gonna get a live try on of the Goosebumps winter boots?
They were pretty small.
Watch them.
They were pretty small.
I think they were like kids' size feet.
It's
I
like,
mean, you gotta think these are kids, man. So
oh,
Oh
right.
God!
if he tries these on, he's gonna.
I
mess
forgot
them
we
up,
were
so I don't
kids at
see
one point.
I don't know if you guys are.
They are.
Oh, there
I
they
just
are!
really like
Wow,
them.
look at that. Yeah, there's
Oh,
no way
that's
they're
Yeah,
I
that'll
put them in like a thing, but it's that artwork of
maybe your hand.
the boots on your hands.
But oh no, they're like baby feet.
Yeah, those are dope. They look brand new.
Yeah,
They do.
Okay.
Thanks to the wrapper. But yeah, no, I mean, I'd never seen these before, and the fact that they use that kind of artwork on it was just crazy to me.
That's cool. You gotta show those to Tim.
Yes. I'm sure Tim would have seen them on my videos, surely. I don't think Tim watches everything I do, but yeah, I'm sure he may have seen them. I should have just tagged
Considering
him.
how much he's been on our podcast, I would sure hope so.
Yeah. They're in good hands. They're even wrapped up to just preserve the picture and everything on it. So they
I don't know how familiar you guys are with the Shrek movies, but I just when you mentioned just put Bjorn trying them on, I just imagine that clip from the fourth movie with I think it's Rumpelstiltskin's like there's a shot of his shoes and then his toes just come bursting out. Like I just imagine it happening. Bjorn trying on those shoes.
Oh God, I would break them, and I don't want to do that.
No, don't. Please don't.
So here's one for you, Adam. What's either a toy or an item that you've been searching for forever but have not been able to get yet?
Yeah, that's a great question. Something I've been looking for in the wild is the Goosebumps Sport flashlight, or I think they would attach to your bike, like a bike light.
Yeah, isn't that like a Haunted Mask one?
Yeah, it's a
Haunted
Haunted
Mask
or yeah. Yeah, I would love to find one of those in the wild, ideally in the packaging. I just love all the Goosebumps Sport stuff. I think that's so just kind of funny. I don't just like kids horror brand sport crossover. Like it's just kind of funny to me. So yeah. I would love to find anything like that in the wild.
I don't know. And I'm only going to mention this because you're talking about the sports stuff.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, you know, like when you'd have a bike, you know, they put that stupid little front bumper on.
Yeah.
Like the little, okay. So I don't remember where I was at, if it was Big Five or somewhere. They had a bunch of bumpers, you know, you could buy for your bike. And they had some for kids' bikes. And I'll never forget, my dad got me, it was a Goosebumps one. And it went on the front right there of the bike. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where, I was so young. I don't remember where we got it from or if it still exists or if it was like a one-off thing or what. But I've never seen it since. I had it forever until the bike got destroyed. But yeah.
I was going to say,
remember what color it was, or
I think it was black. It was black, and I remember it had the mummy. It had the mummy on it. It had it almost looked like the pillowcase, like that style, and it said like boo and stuff. But there's that pattern that's like black and gray, and it has like the spider webs and stuff. It kind of looked like that.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
So there's something else out there that exists that, okay.
Or it did at one point. I don't know.
See, every day we find out something else.
Maybe not anymore.
Well, like,
Yeah, I don't think
Here's
I'd
the
never
thing.
find it again. I don't think I'd.
okay, I gotta ask, like, Guru, Adam, dude, like, I gotta ask this question. So, obviously, you said Goosebumps Sport, you love that stuff. There was bike lights, there was bike helmets, there was a bumper thing for your bike.
There's a skateboard, right?
Is there a Goosebumps bike?
Skateboard, yes.
I've never seen a bike for Goosebumps.
I don't think I've ever seen a bike. No.
It has to be. They did all the accessories, but where's the bike?
Yeah, because they
I'm
had,
sure, and that's the other thing too is like, I don't know where my dad got that bumper. I have no idea. I know I had it, and I'm wondering if he did get it somewhere, if it was a secondhand store, wherever it was that he got it. I'm wondering if it was a part of a bike that was a Goosebumps bike at the time. I don't know. And so, but I'm sure, I would not be surprised if they're making skate boots. I would not be surprised if there's a bike out there somewhere.
Yeah.
There's little skateboards. There's rollerblades. Like
There are rollerblades. I've seen the rollerblades.
I feel like
It's gotta be a
everything
bike.
Goosebumps Sport is rare. Like I feel like all the Goosebumps Sport items are rare merch.
Yep.
They are rare, definitely. Some of the rollerblades are always like, I see them just very rarely in the box, but now when I find them, the little wheels have all come off, like the green, just from age. So like the last few I've seen, they either look like they're super cracked or they just like don't have them at all. Like mine eventually, like I got mine that still had the green on them, but I remember one day I just took the box off the shelf and it sounded like sand, and I was like, "What is that?" And then I like lifted it, and yeah, they just over time, even just sitting in the box, they had disintegrated. So I had to like tip all the stuff out and then like give the wheels a clean. And they're brand new; they'd never been used. They still have the tag on the actual rollerblades, but yeah, it just over time they just sitting there, just from sitting.
Which is crazy when you think about it, because I see these ones on eBay, like ones we were looking at before, Bjorn, when we were messaging, and it was like, okay, one has the box, but those wheels are junk. Like literally, they're broken apart, and it just looked bad. But there's another auction. The skates look like they were worn and beat to shit, but they still had the green on the wheels. Like you could still probably use them. And it's crazy that yours, brand new in the box, disintegrated, never used.
Over time, just disintegrated.
That's crazy.
I don't know. Like they're over, well, not over 30, almost 30 years, 1996.
Well, it makes sense because there's shoes out there. That's why a lot of people, when they collect shoes, they wrap them in like the shrunken down saran wrap or whatever, because it's like some of it's the leather, but also the plastic. Like the way like China or whoever makes it, like they're not made to last. So over years, if they're not protected from sun and air and all that stuff, it just disintegrates the sneaker. So I'm wondering if the plastic on the, whatever on the skates or whatever you had did the same thing.
Yeah, just from sitting in the box. And I thought, well, they're in the box, they're brand new. I'll just leave them in there, won't touch them, and then that still happened. But
it happens.
What can you do? Like the rollerblades are like really clean and nice, but then the wheels
like you said, you've almost got to get like one of those shrink wrap things that'll suction it down to where it just like a VHS tape almost,
Yeah.
And shrink it down.
Just like, well, yeah, the one of those vacuum seal.
Yep.
Yeah. Just to preserve wheels.
Going back to footwear, and I think Bjorn, you brought this up. Those werewolf slippers, are those considered a rare item?
I have those too. They're rare. You have them too?
So
I can't find them.
When I was like 10 for my birthday, my dad, he never knows what to get me ever. And so I came in the house and he's like, got you a present, and I open it. And it was the set that had, it was the slippers, and they came with a book or whatever it was at the time. And they were green and brown. And I wore them forever. I had them forever. but they were the werewolf. They had the 3 little, whatever claws or whatever at the end. And yeah, I'll never forget those. And it's funny, until I met you guys, I had searched for them before, and I could never find them. And then all of a sudden, I think it was I don't know, last time I was on here, I just randomly checked, and boom, there they were. I found a pair. They're expensive, but I found them.
Yeah. I didn't know they came in packaging with a book.
I don't know if it was a book. I think the ones that were online, but I remember it was kind of like the thing where they made the set that had what was it that came with the book? God, dude, Goosebumps has made so many things like just random one-offs. Like, you know what? You know what I found the other day? It was on shopgoodwill.com. I was on there randomly, and it was I've never seen anything like it. It was same thing though. It wasn't curly. It was or I guess it was kind of maybe not curly, but it was a skeleton like Tim's art. The one it was the pirate, like where he's in the front door or whatever. Mm-hmm. The scare or whatever. And then it wasn't an activity book. It had paint and some other stuff with it, and I can't remember if it was a face paint thing or if it was another. I've never seen one ever.
It's one of the special editions.
Yeah, it was a Tales of Goosebumps 4 in the box that comes with like the Halloween makeup thing.
I'd never seen it. I was like, it was pristine. I mean, it looked brand new, and I was like, I didn't buy it. Ended up going for a couple $100, but I was just like, it was still cool to see it though. I was just like, man, that's pretty dope.
No, those Tales of Goosebumps usually, I don't think they ever came new by themselves. I might be wrong on that. They were always paired with some sort of like box set. So I remember,
a book.
Yeah. So it was either a book and swim trunks or underwear for the third one, and then
the second one, the boxer one right there.
Yeah, the curly boxers for the third one. Oh, there we go, right there too.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa!
What is that?
So this is the book and boxer set sealed, but it has a bunch of brand new books.
Whoa! I've never seen that before.
It had to have been a Scholastic Fair thing, like, surely.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But it's cool.
Is that the original wrap for it too?
Yeah, it's
That's
still
so
sealed.
sick, dude.
And the books, like Chicken still has the stickers. How I Learned to Fly still has the cards and bookmarks.
Yeah, those books have to smell so good.
And they're all brand new books too, so it's really
Never, ever open that.
Doesn't definitely, yeah.
Ever. Well, I would even just wrap it again, like with another, like one of those like cellophane bags, just so that wrapper doesn't ever get.
Bro, like, what if they made a shampoo that smelled like the books?
Oh, that would be.
Well, we do in fact have a candle company trying to do a Goosebumps Crew candle that smells like
the books. And from what we've been told, it's very accurate.
Stale 90s books.
That is awesome.
Man, I can't.
Speaking of sealed things, I don't have many like sealed items in my collection, but I do have a few I do want to show off really quick. One is
are they rare?
Well, they're not exactly rare. Rare
off of here
because they come with a door hanger on both of these. So
they have the door hangers.
Yeah, they have door hangers.
So they're rarer than just the
these aren't some of the rarest, but I did want to show them off because these box sets are hard to come by. Even an unsealed one that's in super crappy condition is probably still going to cost you like $40-50. But these sealed ones, I got both of these for $25 each. So that was quite a steal right there. And yeah, they come with little door hangers on the inside. But I can only imagine what these books feel like because never been opened.
I think that the steel just on its own, if they're sealed, you know what I mean? But the bookmark or the door hangers are, that adds a little something extra to that price because you don't often see those.
You always see them by themselves, but not with a book.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then
that's the thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I just wanted to show really quick. I've shown this off
That's right.
before, but this is another thing. A sealed 3-pack of Goosebumps VHS tapes. Also that has a sticker on it promoting
Oh yeah.
Year 2000.
Series 2000.
Whenever you get the sticker, man, that from that old VHS, like I have a off topic, but I have a Land Before Time VHS, and it cost me almost $100 because it's one of the original first ever released, and it still has the thing, but it has the Pizza Hut, the toy that you could get at Pizza Hut, the little hand puppets. It had that sticker on it from when it first released, from 1988 or whatever. And it's just like you said, it just adds that little bit of nostalgia to it, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
it's
Really
awesome.
Yeah. I was actually telling Nick about something like that, very similar. So in Australia, they did for the release of Night of the Living Dummy 3 on VHS. We are the only country that also included Night of the Living Dummy 2 on the tape. But a lot of people didn't know that if they found a used copy and didn't have the sticker on the front, because on the back it just says bonus footage and it says 62 minutes or something. So you're like, well, what's the bonus footage? Like, what's an extra 20 minutes? So unless you had that sticker on the front, you wouldn't know. And it immediately upsells the price. So you can get a copy for like 40, 50 bucks. But if it's got the sticker on it, you could pay $100. And it basically, all it is a little sticker that says also includes Night of the Living Dummy 2. And it just says that on the front. So it's almost like they didn't put it on the back to say it also included the episode. All they're promoting is the third one and just put bonus footage. So they said, oh, just throw a sticker on it. It was almost like they decided last minute, like just put a sticker on them.
Yeah, it's old news.
You know, and it changes, it upsells the price. Like it, you know, like with the Land Before Time video, like because of that sticker, it makes it rare. And
it also it proves that it wasn't rewrapped, right? Because you can't find that sticker anymore. Yeah. So it's like it just proved that it was the original, and there's not many out there left. And so it's
that's like so the back of the Goosebumps ones, there's a 20th Century Fox blue like stamp, and anytime I'm going to look for VHS, which I have all of them sealed except for one, I'm still missing that Bride. The Living Dummy. It's pissing me off.
You'll find it.
I don't know why.
You'll find it.
There's so many used ones out there, but I cannot find a new one. But anytime I see any other VHS I'm looking for of Goosebumps, like, or when I was looking for them, if I didn't see that, I skipped it. It may be authentic, but yeah, I don't know. There's too many good rewrappers out there to make it look legit.
Yeah, it's that's,
and I'm not paying premium price for a resale.
Well, and that's the hard part. So like another collection that it's a very, very hard to find collection. If you guys remember Cartoon Network, Ray Bradbury made the Halloween tree. Mm-hmm. It was a 93 special. It came out in 1993. They only aired it a couple of years on Cartoon Network. Well, you can find it on VHS. And there's a couple. The only one that is worth grabbing, and they're expensive, but there's a screen demo, which was like, it was like the demos they sent out to families or whatever, kind of like you would do now, right? Like giving somebody a demo to watch before it actually released or whatever, pre-screening. But it literally, instead of the barcode on the back, it says, you know, whatever demo. And I'll never forget, and I kick myself every day for not fucking grabbing this thing. But there was I don't know who did the score. I still don't know who did the score for that movie, but there was a cassette tape of the actual soundtrack for that movie. And I should have grabbed it. I have a laser disc of the soundtrack, but I do not have the actual cassette. And I kick myself every day. I'll never forget not grabbing that.
You'll find it again.
I don't think so. I've looked so many times for like 15 years, and I could have had it when I was like 20 and never did.
It's like we find things every day that we didn't know about. You know what I mean?
It pisses me off, man.
It'll come. You'll find
Speaking
it.
of,
just while I got it here, but there's the sticker. Bonus episode. So they threw it on there. Yeah.
And
I'm missing last minute.
speaking of VHS tapes, really quick, two examples. Number one, you said screen demo. There was those for not necessarily a screen demo, but a screening tape.
Yeah.
They did that for almost every single one of the U.S. releases. So there was a Haunted Mask one that actually, in fact, I have it over here.
Right there.
Had a
It's a good thing we have a lot of these things that we're talking about.
yeah, exactly.
Mine are all packed. I'm just kidding.
This is the Haunted Mask one. So there was ones for Stay Out of the Basement. There was one for Dead House, Fever Swamp, Haunted Mask 2.
Fever Swamp.
They look pretty similar to the official releases, just with an added thing at the bottom that says,
It says
not for resale. But
Except
this
for-
Haunted Mask one, not only is that, so it says right here, it says not for rental or sale because it was only given to, video stores to look over. But
How come you got it?
Might have been a liquidation thing. Video
Old
stores
guy,
don't exist
old
anymore.
guy, okay.
But it does feature a different design for what possibly could have been what the VHS tapes looked like. It's a little more similar to
a
the
slip
book.
cover.
And it's a slipcover, yeah, which, the final ones would be
Well, maybe
clamshells.
that was the original idea, was to
Clam
release them
tail.
as slip covers and not like clam
Well,
case one.
if you look at the advertisement too for the Haunted Mask back then, I think it had something more similar to that VHS sleeve, and then it must have changed somewhere along the lines for production. They put it in the clamshell, but I think I have. I don't have it like
expensive to
physically.
produce?
Like I have one for the Haunted Mask 2, but I don't have one for the Haunted Mask. But I don't know if it's
What
just
do you
because it was never officially released.
What do you think was more expensive to produce, the clamshells or the slipcover ones?
Oh, clamshells. I'm pretty
Clamshells,
sure.
definitely.
Clamshells.
are
Because Goosebumps was racking in. They were like, no. We're gonna.
Well, because you got to remember, not only is the plastic, but they've got to make the slip-in cover also for the inside and all that stuff, or inserts that they put in there. Whereas the just pull-off cover, I don't know why I'm making that hand motion, but the pull-off cover, it's just a lot easier and cheaper. It's made out of paper, so
Yeah.
Not enough money back then.
There's a couple items that I for sure. One I have, and I don't know how rare it is per se. It's hard to find in working condition. I've never found one in a box. I have the Goosebumps pinball machine, and it works.
Okay, so there was what it was.
Oh yeah,
I do remember
I've never
that
seen
one.
that ad before. That's cool.
And then there's one very similar to it that released later, and you can see where the change was made.
Oh yeah, that's the new one. Yeah, they really dove into the black and purple. They seem like on the newer stuff.
Yeah, even the bookmark changed because if you zoom in, it shows you what the bookmark was going to look like. Where the one, as we know, we ended up getting was like the lenticular, and it was only the Haunted Mask up top, and it switched between Curly and
Early in the
the Haunted Mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
So somewhere along the line, it changed. I'm not sure why, but I like
Which
both, so it
pinball
really
machine
didn't
is
matter
it?
which one I got.
Which pinball machine was it? Is it because there's two different ones? One's rarer than the other though. There's one that has the Horrorland it's a Horrorland pinball machine, but then there's one that's a lot more uncommon. And
Mine is not the Horrorland. Mine is it has the Mummy on it. It's purple. I'd have to go dig it out. It's somewhere in a box.
Is it because there's one that has like Curly, the Mummy, Slappy.
Yeah, it has all the characters on it.
Yeah, that's the rare. That is the rare
Yeah.
one. Especially
It has all the characters. It lights up. It works.
That one.
Is this the
I
one?
paid
in the box is rare.
Yeah, that's it right there.
That's the rarer one. I don't know why. Do you think that one's rare just because it has all the different characters on it?
I would say. I mean, I paid a pretty penny for mine, but I also knew that it worked. See, and there it is in the box. See, I don't have the box.
See, that's the
I have it
yeah
pinned up. The other, there's one, And I told you guys know I'm into Fear Street a lot. I have a huge collection of Fear Street.
That's the other one.
Yeah, it's a small one.
Yep.
That's the one that's like, it's like that big. So there, I don't know, I can't remember where I came across, if it was online or in a store. I resold it like Adam. I kind of regret selling this one because it's hard to find. So they came out, I can't remember what book it was, but they came out with a Fear Street watch. It had a Fear Street watch that was attached to the book. You can look it up. Just look up Fear Street watch and book or whatever, but there might be one that's mangled up in a package. When I was looking for it, you couldn't find it. There was it was just kind of they probably made it, maybe a couple hundred of them, I'm assuming. And that was it. I kept it for a long time and eventually sold it. But the rarest thing there's two rare things that I've seen. One I have found online. It's very expensive. The other one I have not found I did find it one time and then it disappeared and I haven't seen it since. The first one is the Microverse for Horrorland.
Yep.
So that one's really hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one was a claw machine. And I know there's one up there on eBay, I'm pretty sure.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's the horror claw machine.
And I don't think those. I don't think they made many of those.
I got that.
That's
in the
definitely
box.
a rarer
Yeah.
one. So this is what it looks like. The little Goosebumps claw machine.
There it is.
I'm not going to dig that out because it's like behind. I'm not going to dig it out, but I got it.
But
Yeah, the Microverse, I agree. Like, I've been looking for that one and a lot of the ones that show up. And there was even one at the Toy Pit in Indianapolis, which is somewhat close to me-ish. But the box, quoted to be sealed, it looked pretty banged up and they still wanted over $200 for it. I was like, the box was in good shape. I would have done it. But I don't know. But then you go online, you're not finding much better right now. Like, literally, there's none online at the moment.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, the one with a box was like missing a piece, or, you know, didn't have any of the inside. It was just the box. So it's like, man, these are just too hard to find to complete on their own unless they're already complete. Because nobody's just selling an individual piece that you might be missing. So my OCD won't allow me just to buy one with a missing piece because then it'll eat me up. Like,
I think
that piece in there.
The funniest thing to me as a toy collector, and all of you guys I know will attend to this because you guys are probably perfectionists like me, is the funnest part about not only this episode, but the funnest part about toy hunting is the hunt. It truly is. Like, it's awesome getting the item and saying, yes, I have it, you know, because then it just goes up on your shelf or wherever it goes. But I feel like the biggest thrill of finding it is finding that rare toy that you've been searching for forever and you finally find it, or you find, you know, it is, I don't know. There's a feeling about it, man. Like the hunt of finding a rare toy, you know, especially Goosebumps, like you said, because they've made, it just seems like every day I find or come across something new Goosebumps, because one of my main searches for Shop Goodwill or whatever is Goosebumps. And I would say once a month or so, there will just be this rare item on there that I've never seen, or I have seen, but you just don't find it in a box often, or you just find it in this miscellaneous and you're like, that's brand new. Like,
Yeah.
why is that at Goodwill? Like,
that's what I was like. I don't know if you saw the post I made a few weeks ago where I found all those rare toys. So like I found like the Haunted Mask little I forget what the name of this is, but it's like
Dreadhead.
The Dreadhead, yeah. So the Haunted Mask Dreadhead, and then I found all four. Granted, they're not in the box, not in the packaging, but all four of the the monster bags. So that one I do remember.
I'll just start naming everything you hold up.
But no, I was able to find all of these and more, just out of the blue. So you're absolutely right. Just
How random.
I mean, these
they did a
Mr.
Mortman one, right?
What was that?
How random that they did a Mr. Mortman, one of the very few.
Well, that's the thing.
Like Girly Crowd Monster products.
You have
and
Slappy
they did
and you have the Horror, which are they're iconic. And then you have the Scarecrow, which is like, yeah, I guess, the Scarecrow was around a little bit. And then, yeah, Mr. Mortman.
On the TV show.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, that's the only figure I'd really. I mean, I love the Scarecrow too, although I never noticed before that he's trying to stab you with a corn cob. So I think that's really weird.
I love that.
Throwing missiles.
That is one of the very the only
the Morton
show
figure, I would love to have that.
Yeah, that was.
Same.
It costed me quite a bit, but I'm like, there's no way I could pass up on these.
Nah, you got to get that stuff when it comes.
No,
Didn't you say, Nick, how
I mean, when you find them
anything?
online, they're typically loose and they're like $50 a figure. So that's the average. But to find one in the package, if it's in good condition and stuff, like even in our Facebook group, somebody was selling like a whole set, and they were English ones too, because a lot of times you'll see they have like what was it, Italian on there,
Italian or
on the
French
packaging along
French
with
Canadian.
it. Yeah,
I've seen German ones.
I can't remember which one, but probably because they were maybe more common there. But this one was just said Goosebumps on it, like it didn't have any other language on it. So I thought those were hella rare. So I was like, honestly, you could probably get a pretty good amount because he had the whole set. They looked brand new off the shelf, and they were just English. So I was like, that's another thing too. Like if you look at, you can go online right now. Even there's like those little painted statue figure sets. It's like the Executioner, Haunted Mask, Slappy. I think there was only those three, if I'm not mistaken. But you can always find them in another language. But if you find them in English, it's so hard to do. Like I've only found one Haunted Mask one. And again, it's not complete. Like they said something was missing. It must have been like a paintbrush or something because everything else was there. But the box is kind of beat up and tattered. And I have spent years looking for another one to replace it with like that looks brand new. I've not seen another one. Only in those other languages. So, and I've never even seen the Executioner or Slappy in English. So that's interesting too. It's like, did they just not come here? Were they not make very many? That's the other thing too. Like it could be mass produced somewhere else, but it's super rare here. So now you're paying a high dollar price because it's rare just because it's English.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to another item, and I remember for a long time, like this is always one I considered to be like one of the most rare because of your videos, Bjorn. The Cuckoo Clock of Doom wall clock. So yeah, the Cuckoo Clock of Doom.
What? The Cuckoo Clock of what? Let me get it out. Now, just to give you an idea.
No,
this thing is like, I've got it like, in a hard, like protected box. Now let's just flip open these.
No, that is what Nick's holding up is the statue that you can paint of the Haunted Mask.
Nice. I've never seen one of those in person. I didn't realize how big it actually was. I just figured it was small.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, that's what she said. And again, it's English. I mean, it does have like a little bit of what appears to be Spanish on the side, but like that's not uncommon in America to have English and Spanish on there. But the primary
can I see that one more
language
time?
is English.
Nice.
Pinta something.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool.
And then it's Clock Doom.
Yeah, and then
so
Bjorn showing off the Cuckoo Clock of Doom.
So besides the Haunted Mask, it was Slappy and the Executioner, which they got.
Yep.
The Executioner looks more like a TV show as well with that hat.
Oh, it's a 3D paint kit. I see.
Yeah, it's a 3D paint.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, my
The
eyes
Executioner
are
does look more like the TV show version, which
they
is
actually slipped in. I don't know if you noticed, Nick, but
the Haunted Mask too, because look at the Carly Beth head sculpt.
Yeah, like they've slipped in some little TV show toys in the merch, and I don't think a lot of people even noticed. Like, so the Mr. Mortman figure from the Monster Bag, that's straight TV show. Like, that's the TV series version. And then those models, yeah, like that's from the TV show. Even the freaking neck scarf, dude. Like, you know what I mean? And then the turtleneck, and then those figures. It's more like the Haunted Mask from the TV show, and also it's the Executioner from the TV show.
You need to show this to Eugene Lipinski if we ever bring him on again. Just feel like, did you know there's a
You are a
toy?
figurine.
Yeah.
You can help.
No, I think didn't Bjorn you tell him or show him when we had him on?
I think I did show him that he. Yeah, I think I did.
I really hope so. I really hope.
I feel like we did.
Cuckoo Clock and Doom Clock. I can tell you the highest bid I've had on this that someone offered, but I will not tell you their name. But
500.
this item I've never seen in the box ever, apart from the one that I got. It came out actually in 1997, and it's by a company called Crystal Craft. It's probably going to be really hard to see.
They're making
But,
drugs.
It's an Australian company. So these were released in Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, for drugs.
Because it's the Cuckoo Clock of Doom and it's a clock. That's why people want it. The highest bid I've had on this thing, take a guess.
500.
Everyone go
$500.
$1 million.
500. Keep going.
I'm gonna say 1,000.
Oh, that's close.
800.
Very close.
1,200? Oh, no,
800.
12,000.
$1,200 was the highest offer I had on it.
And
Someone that had a we're going back quite a few years though. Someone that had a collection, I'd say pretty close to mine in size. And
Zach Baby
they were
TV.
desperate. They were desperate because it was in the box. Because the only one that ever popped up was another Goosebump collector that lived in Australia, but his wasn't in the box.
$12.
It's just such a rare thing. It's I don't know, man.
Was it Zach Baby
finding it
TV?
in the box is ridiculously hard.
Zach Baby TV, wasn't it?
I got it, and you know how much I paid back in like 2003? I think my dad paid.
$5.
$25.
I think it was $5.
oh
And he said
Those
he
are
remembered
the best
it was in a
ones.
thrift store behind the counter, like on the back wall. It was on like the thing, and it's funny enough, it's a wall clock. And he just said, "Oh, I'll just take that, like for my son." Brought it home one day, and I don't know how, but for some reason I never took it out of the box. It was always in the back of my head, like leave it in there.
As much as I would have loved to have been like, I would have loved to have been like, oh man, I wish my dad would have done for me. I'm glad he didn't, because I would have destroyed that clock.
Exactly.
By the time, at that age,
I wince
would have
at
never respected it.
being the collector I am now, I wince at what I used to like, how I used to treat my old Goosebumps books, because I don't think I own any like of the original books that I first had, because they were so like poorly taken care of. I've had to replace them all.
But you know what? That just shows though, the kid part of us cherished it. You know what I mean? Like that just means that we loved it so much that the value didn't matter to us, because we were just in love with it. And so that
I
was
could
the cool
show
part
you
about
my
it.
very first book, The Haunted Mask, that I ever bought. I still have it. Has my
it
great
crusty?
name in the book too. It's the pages are a bit rough. Yeah, it's
God,
They stick together.
Yeah, they stick together.
God, that's disgusting.
Pages
Doesn't
stick
everybody?
together.
Is that
Why?
just me?
Why do the pages stick together?
You don't want to know.
Why do they stick together, Nick?
There's just a little bit of the icky sticky, okay?
Okay, moving on.
Well, while we're on the topic of clocks, I'll quickly just show this. I recently shared this one. So it's an alarm clock,
nice.
and you got Slappy there,
Slappy.
Goosebumps with your little trademark thing,
And Cuddles.
Cuddles, and
Does it glow in the dark?
Curly. It's a bit hard to see, but
It looks like it
But,
might glow.
I have never seen another one of these ever. And funny enough, I picked this up on eBay
Oh,
in Australia.
in Australia.
So I'm assuming, like the Cuckoo Clock, maybe the same company brought this out, and that's my thought process. So I had to have a real think on it. And then when I went back to the old listing, I had purchased this in Australia.
Have you ever looked up the toy company and actually looked up to see maybe the prototypes they made for all that stuff?
I can't find anything on it for Crystal. All I can find is Crystal Craft, the company.
It's a drug
But when I
company,
search
100%.
Goosebumps and Crystal Craft, nothing comes up. But
The shell
another thing
company.
that Crystal Craft brought out was this Goosebumps nameplate that you put on your door. Another rare item that I've had a pretty decent offer on it. I've never seen another one.
They were probably like,
Send me one.
they were probably like, listen, we need to move all this stuff. Goosebumps. That's the perfect
Not right now.
I say we should just combine all our collections and have one massive museum.
Yes,
And
that would be so dope.
That would be
Like,
awesome.
Be so
what's yours
dope.
is mine. What's mine is yours, and we just make it one big collection.
No, there's another.
That's funny.
Maybe this is those statue figures, but I heard there was something called like the Goosebumps Art Studio. Is that what those statues?
I got that too.
The art pit. Yeah,
It came out in the year 2000, believe it or not. It came out 2000. It was one of the latest, like the last released Goosebumps items, like ever.
Yeah, I heard of it. I don't know if I've ever seen.
I'll go get it.
If you
I'll go
could.
get it.
I almost got one, but the guy wouldn't sell it at the time. But I only wanted it because it had, well, it's art thing, but also because it had the Haunted Mask. So I was like, I want it for the collection, and it wouldn't sell it.
What about the I think it was Europe, or I can't remember what country had they went into like prototype mode, and then they were never actually released, I don't think, to the US, but they were the mini scare packs, and they actually had little packages of the little mini Goosebumps, and I think you can buy them individually, just like that. And there they are.
Yeah, I remember those.
This was one of the items I did grab out while I was in there in my case, because
I've never seen them in person.
There is a sealed Haunted Mask in here, but I also have a loose one. So it's the same model figure that they used for the Series 2 collectible, which I'll also be showing at some point. But yeah, the little minifigures, there was a whole set of these that came out, but they're also on their little pamphlet thing, I think it showed. And I think we might have talked about it on here before, I can't remember. Or maybe it was just Bjorn and I talking about it. I can't remember that either. Too much Goosebumps talk. But all those figures like came out. They're really cool. More like, I don't know, size of like maybe like a board game piece, I'd say.
Yeah.
Pretty small. How much did that cost you, the open one?
Well, thankfully I didn't have to open one. So the original one I got with this, I think I bought it, but it wasn't very expensive. Now, this one, though, like I traded our friend Elvis for because he had a few. And I was like, dude, I have a Haunted Mask. I just need a box to go with it. But he was also nice enough just to send me a sealed Haunted Mask because I think he had an extra. So I left the sealed one in here and have this one out and display with the box.
They weren't all released, by the way. There's like a checklist.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about while you were out grabbing more rare shit that you got in your museum.
Well, speaking of the art studio, so it's this thing.
Yeah, there it is.
Goosebumps Art Studio. It's got the Series 2000 logo for Goosebumps.
Yeah.
And
I was talking about something else. I was talking about like the art kit thing, the mask.
Really?
That had it looks like a little briefcase thing or something.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be that
It's got a little handle. And it opens up, and it's just got like paint and stuff. I mean, a lot of it's been used, and of course, I cellophane wrapped it. But this came out. Would you believe? Probably going to be so hard to see on my camera, but you might just be able to make it out. Year 2000.
Wow.
Such a late release, and this came out only in the UK.
I feel like, to be honest, the book series of Goosebumps. I feel like some of the most rare and cool stuff came out in the later years, only because, that's when you were seeing the combination between series of TV and movies and the books and the artwork, and it was like they started kind of mixing everything together before they started moving on to the separate sets. They came out with like Give Yourself Goosebumps and all that stuff. In the 2000 series. But yeah, I think like 97 to 2000, like those 3 years, they made some really cool shit.
Yeah, honestly, unique, interesting stuff. And that is the rarest stuff. The things that came out, I'd say from 97 onwards.
Yeah.
95, 96 was the year that Goosebumps was, well, I'd say 96 was the peak year. Peak. Like all the merch, everything came out, like the pinball machines, all that kind of stuff we know. That was peak 96. 97 was the declining year of Goosebumps sales, but they were still bringing stuff out. And a lot of it's, and a lot of the stuff that I will post that's from those years is usually when people go, oh, like I've never seen that. Like that's different. Right. They brought out a horror. Would you believe they brought out a Horrorland quilt set in '97? Like we had the one in '90, the one with all the characters on it, and there was like one with just Curly. But there's actually one that's just straight up Horrorland, and that came out in '97. But not many people have seen that one. Have
you guys ever found a lamp, like an actual lamp?
I've never seen one.
No. There might be a lampshade out there.
There's got to be one out there.
Find those things every day. There had to have been a lampshade.
Got to be a lamp. And so one thing I feel like because you can find the alarm clock, obviously the Mummy, and they have some other stuff, but I have never seen a lamp.
Yeah, me neither.
You would think that they would have made one.
I've only seen.
What character would be the most fitting for
I feel like it would have been like the bumper. I feel like it would have been like a design like the Mummy. And it would have had like the spider webs
case and stuff to match the bed sheets and everything.
Yeah.
I
feel like it would have been something
I was gonna say,
like
I don't think they would do a lamp, but I can totally see a lampshade.
Yeah, lampshade. Like in packaging too. Like
when you would go to like Target and you walk down and they have like the bed set, the pillowcase, and they always have like that. If they don't have a lamp, it's like they'll have a lampshade for it, or they'll have like something for the room that matches the bedding, you know?
Right. Yeah. That would have been the thing the kids bought the least of, so maybe it is just super rare. Like, you know, because all the kids wanted the bedding or the, you know, the lampshade. It's like, I don't want that.
Sleeping bags, stuff. Yeah.
I feel like that would be the rarest of them.
One thing that came up recently was an air mattress. Like Bjorn and I were talking about. Apparently, there was a Goosebumps air mattress.
Yep.
Wasn't there also
no advertising on the back of any of the other camping products either? Like you look at the back of like the sleeping bag. You look at the back of the duffel bag, like all of that stuff, they do not advertise the air mattress on any of them, but they advertise everything else. So I don't know if it was like I don't know, it's weird.
So one of you have
promoted on anything else.
One of you have the air mattress? I've never seen that either.
No, I nearly bought one, but I should have just done it, even though the box was destroyed. I should have just bought it regardless, just to be like, it is a thing. It exists, and I have it. Is it still on there? Like, I don't know if I search if it's still on there, Nick.
I'm not sure.
I would just
buy it to eBay.
Jordan, why don't you just give us a quick little look at your museum?
My museum. Oh God. Okay.
You can barely walk in it, probably.
You can't walk in it anymore.
You're just gonna have to view it from the doorway.
Yeah.
Literally, I usually just take people to the doorway. And I just say, "Hey, look, Goosebumps stuff."
Look at all that.
It's so red. It's like a weird reddish color because of the light, but you guys get the idea.
Yeah, no, I can. That's one of my. If I ever come to Australia, which I'm not really wanting to because of all the giant monsters you have there,
the things that want to kill
spiders.
I would kill. I don't think I could die happy unless I got one. Trip to that Goosebumps room.
Dehumidifier goes on every day in that room.
You're smart.
To protect, preserve. See what I mean? I got it all worked out.
So, speaking of, bedding, stuff like that, I did want to bring up two quick things. One is the Goosebumps tent.
Yep. Had that.
Oh, yes. I have that too. But I'm not too far away.
Mm-hmm. No, Goosebumps tent. And I think there was multiple. Like I think one of them was like a little play place or like play tent or something like that.
I ripped the shit out of mine.
There's two of them. And the rare one is the You Can't Scare Me one, which I do have in the box, brand new in the box. And I found that on Gumtree in Australia. I have that. And sorry, Zach Baby TV, but mine's in the box, and it's brand new in the box. It's still.
Do you guys remember the PVC pipe that was like this thick?
Oh yeah.
For it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're like, let's bring it outside.
I never found a Goosebumps one, but I had.
That's the one I had.
One.
Yeah, that's the more common one.
And, yeah,
that's the one I had.
That one pops up every time to time.
Like you're gonna snap them putting it together.
Dude, I ripped the. I can't remember what me and my brother did in it. But I think I destroyed that thing within like 5 days.
It's called the House of Ghouls tent. So that's that one. That second.
The box is never in good shape.
House of Rips. Yeah,
never in good shape. And you know what? Oh, but a rare item from that line is the sleeping bag. Not the
Yes.
sleeping bag. Yes, in the packaging.
No, very hard to find.
Yeah.
Find it
Oh,
in the
guess what picture I found when I looking up Goosebumps tent.
packaging.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude,
There you
I
go.
wouldn't
We
want to
got
be
a
in that
cameo.
tent. I wouldn't want to be in that tent with him. I'm sorry.
Oh, but
would
here's
be
another thing. I
the
found this
ultimate
catalog,
gentleman.
Fellow.
this catalog picture.
Yeah, there you go.
The tent,
Yeah,
There's the air
there's the
mattress.
backpack that holds the
tent,
sleeping bag,
sleeping bag.
sleeping bag.
That's got to be the air mattress next to it on the ground. But there was a beanbag chair. That's really rare too.
Yep, I remember the beanbag. I never had it,
the
but I
next thing I was
remember
going to
it.
bring up was the Goosebumps beanbag chair.
Dude, I still haven't found it. Look at all the stuff I got. I have not found the beanbag chair yet for my collection.
I did have a sealed sleeping bag once, but I sold that on eBay pretty quickly
I
because
bet you
Oh,
did.
you would
Yeah.
have, because dude,
a lot of people were
Adam,
interested. Yeah.
that is so rare in the packaging now. Like it took me 20 years to find in the packaging.
Yeah, that's how I feel about. I think I've told you guys this, and I've showed you. Adam hasn't seen it, but my Casper Play Mansion. I searched for like 10 years for it in the box, and this guy from Canada just so happened to work at Trendmasters and actually had the prototypes for the actual playset too before it was released. And anyway, I just like Bajorn with some of his stuff, I had to give an arm and leg for it and probably part of my soul, but it is the coolest piece by far that I have in my collection. And I've found them in the boxes, but not nearly in the condition. I mean, this thing looks like it was brand new.
Okay, so yeah,
That's
I
so
pulled
good.
up that
It's always a good feeling.
catalog
You just don't
picture.
care the price. You want it, right? You just don't
Yep.
care.
So that's the tent, that's the duffel bag, that is the sleeping bag, and that is the airbed. So that's
Now, here's my thing. Do you think that there was ever a set that came with all of it, or that was combined? That was released.
I don't think
Maybe not
so.
all of it, but some of it was
I
together, like
wish.
the sleeping bag, the backpack, like it all came in one. Because sometimes they do that. Sometimes like those sleeping sets.
Maybe
We'll
the
have,
duffel
like, a
bag
whole
and the
thing.
sleeping bag could have, because the duffel bag is for the sleeping bag. So
like a
thinking
sleepover set, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if they
this is
combine,
what
if they
the
would
duffel bag
combine
looks like.
anything,
And by
they
the
would
way,
have done that with the sleeping bag.
press rewind retro
Correct.
courtesy for these pictures, but this is a picture.
Oh, press rewind. She's awesome, man. She's cool.
Yep.
She's an awesome
Find
chick.
the beanbag chair. Find the beanbag chair picture.
I'm gonna look.
You know,
it up.
you know what I bought from her? This is again. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm a nerd. We're all
No,
nerds.
it's all
but
good.
one thing I bought from her recently, and I won on one of her auctions. I can't believe I won it because her auctions go so quick. But it was a Beetlejuice, the animated Beetlejuice Play-Doh set, sealed, still in the box.
Beatles.
And all I saw, I didn't even care what it was. All I saw was animated Beetlejuice. I was like, I didn't even care. I didn't care how much it was. I didn't care. And I'm so glad I did, because you can't find it in the box. Like, it's the only one out there in a box. She even told me, she goes, I can't tell you how long it took me to find this. And she's like, you'll never find this again. And I was like, sweet. So
Okay, here's a picture of this is the beanbag chair.
Yep.
Yeah, I need it. I still need it, and it came in a box too.
Yeah.
Hey,
there's a
what
picture-
about-
I just discovered it came in a
there's a
box.
picture of the box right there?
That's
Yeah, there's the
yes,
box.
but the box is weird because it's like a white box with just a picture on. It's weird. Like, is that literally how it came?
Yeah. Yeah.
Surely, like,
because I had a Batman one that came in a box very similar to that. It just obviously had I think it was Batman Forever, if I remember right.
man.
But
someone
R.I.P.
find me the
Val
beanbag
Kilmer.
chair. Adam, I'll pay you $500.
R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
I'll do my best to find one.
I will
Well,
pay money for that.
Here's a funny little thing. This
need
is
it.
not a Goosebumps item, but in one of the related pictures, there's a Bed Bath and Beyond listing for a beanbag chair, and the kid's reading a "Give Yourself Goosebumps."
That's so.
That's an old '90s stock photo for sure. Like,
It has
What
to
are
be.
do you guys remember the backpack that had the little like black beetle on the outside of it? I had
got
that
that.
back. I want to see it if you have it. I have not. I had that when I was in like
Which
fifth
one?
grade.
Because some of them had some of them had little bugs on them. Which one?
It was just it did. It had a little bug on the outside, and it was like I don't know. It was just like
Was it the curly one?
I can't remember. I'd have to see it. I had it when I was a kid. I'd have to see it. I think it's black. Is it black?
Yeah.
Or like it's a darker.
I have two that have a beetle on it, but
I just want to see. I'll know it as soon as I see it. I'll know which one it is. It's been like 25 years since I've seen it. So
I'll see if I can reach it.
Okay. Be careful in there.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself now. Here's another thing I'll bring up. And actually, this is relating into another episode that we did just a few weeks ago. The Spirit of the Harvest Moon cassette tape. Nick, you remember we talked with Austin Goosebumps Completionist about that. So I don't know. We still don't know the story about where this came from. Adam, I don't know. Did you ever hear about the Spirit of the Harvest Moon cassette tape? Okay, a quick rundown. Apparently, Goosebumps art over on the Goosebumps wiki found out that there was a cassette tape that was an audiobook for Spirit of the Harvest Moon, which is one of the stories from one of the Tales to Give You Goosebumps books. It has a foreword by R.L. Stine, and it is like a 20-minute audio cassette. Nobody knows where it came from, and it makes it one of the rarest Goosebumps merch items ever. Because only the audio file is on Internet Archive, and there's only one picture that currently exists of it.
Oh, somebody's got it.
I had no idea. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What kills me is when
actually, one of our followers, and also someone I'm actually talking to try to buy a 90s haunted mask with the tag on it. He's like, "Hey, I listened to your guys and watched your guys' episode." He was like, thought you might think this is cool, and he sent me a picture of. Let me darken that because dang, I'm bright. All right. So I've adjusted back. But so he sent me a picture of that cassette, and I've not seen that one before.
Oh my gosh!
With that,
I gotta send that to.
That's it. That's the bag, baby. That's it.
We gotta send that picture to Austin because.
Wow, what a throwback! 5th grade, baby.
It's got the beetle on there.
Yeah, so Scare Fair sampler.
I picked all the legs off.
He didn't send me a picture of the back or anything, but because it was the Disney era for Goosebumps, before obviously it came back to Disney again. The first time it was with Disney.
This one.
I've seen that one.
Send me that photo, Nick, when you can. Yeah, no.
Credit to Josh Blanks. Just
Josh Blanks.
Oh, I nearly bought
That's
that.
awesome. Just seriously,
I nearly bought that cassette.
You, Josh, man, thank you so much for for reaching out with that. Because I had no idea. Literally, it was one photo of the actual cassette tape. It's green, that existed before that, but now we have another one. So you heard it here first, folks. All right, next up,
I'd never seen that one before, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Next up, I want to mention there was apparently a haunted mask freaky face. So we know that there was a curly.
I'm not digging that out.
There's a curly. There's a mud monster.
I'm digging that out.
But
it's like the back wall.
It's back there.
Thing,
yeah,
and it's high. I got it. It's just, yeah. If you look at the back of my old photos, you'll see it there.
Do you have like a step ladder or something? At least
I need just longer arms that I can just go. I need to be Street Boy like Bart
Gadget.
Yeah.
But no, so
go
there
Gadget.
is a haunted mask freaky face. I've personally never seen any photos of it, but does it exist?
Let's see if I can reach it.
So I used to.
You have it.
Okay. I can reach it.
No,
Reach.
It's the rarest of the freaky faces, and I say that knowing because I'm still looking for one in the box. I have one loose, and it just kills me. I wanted one in the box because the box looks cool. Obviously, it had that awesome color and 90s splat stuff we all love, and I was just like, "Nah, I gotta have the box, bro."
Yeah.
But they did. They made a freaky face. Then they also did the freaky frames. and then the Dreadheads. The only thing that didn't make it that I'm aware of that did have advertising on the back of the boxes, I think were called glob faces.
Huh.
I asked Bjorn if they ever made those because I've never seen them before, but he said he hasn't either. So we're assuming they never were made.
Glob faces. I've never heard of that before.
Do we know of any unreleased toys that never got released?
Yeah. I'm going to say they probably never got released.
Well, there's a few.
And not to say that maybe they didn't, or maybe they just were very few and far between.
I know.
As we've noticed,
there was an entire
things coming up lately.
Partnership with Hasbro and Goosebumps that went, underway and got scrapped. So there's supposed to be like these figurines. There was supposed to be, there was just supposed to be a few like different Goosebumps toys, and I think a few prototypes have been found. Let me actually pull up the ad really quick because that's going to be.
Have you? I'm trying to remember, Isaiah. When I was on shopgoodwill.com, I think I forwarded you or screenshotted you and told you about the haunted mask voice changer I found.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
And but it was in the box. It had the box. It was brand new. Like the box was pristine. Like again, and I'm thinking to myself, like, who has these? Like, who's just Goodwill?
Yeah, let's go to.
Like, did they die? Like, I need to know.
Okay, I took a photo of it.
Insane, bro.
In my collection.
Oh, here we go.
So I'll just show you the picture because it's on the back wall. But
there we go. Yeah.
Oh, that's Mr. What's his name? That's
the haunted mask.
So that's my
Mr. Morgue.
And hey, there's another rare item. Well, you can barely see it, but it's a packet of chips, but it has Goosebumps on it. But I could grab those. They were released.
$50 if you eat them.
But yeah, so that's the haunted mask, freaky face.
That's cool.
Nice.
I was like, you know what? I'll just take a photo of it on my phone.
Oh, here we go. So, this was and we'll be doing a whole episode in the future on unreleased toys. But just to give you an idea, there was this partnership with Hasbro that was supposed to go down, and it just never happened. So there was the
Slappy surfaced.
Posable
prototype of the Slappy surfaced.
And then these little like.
God, I wish I could find that haunted mask one.
Yeah, the haunted mask and this like really weird looking Cuddles one. Right down here.
Slappy.
Yeah,
that Slappy right there in the middle actually did make its way to eBay.
Mm-hmm.
And someone bought it in an estate sale. So someone just had it in their closet this entire time.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, how do these people get a hold of this shit and then just like, out of the woodworks, here we go. Like, where did you find that? Like, what?
Well, they're the glob faces. I don't know, like, what the hell they were supposed to be.
Never got released.
But I've never seen any.
Were they like squishy? Did they like you could squeeze their face maybe or something?
Globby?
I'm not sure. They look like they're in some kind of container because you see the ones above those are the flip faces that were kind of.
Oh, wait. You said, what are they called? Glob what?
Glob faces.
These were glob faces.
I'm wondering if they were
little boxes with the G-splat above their face.
But I'm wondering if they were in water. Like they were kind of gooey, but they were like in water, so you could probably shake it or something like a snow globe.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
And it just kind of around.
The heads do this.
Because everything else on here
like
got
a floating
released.
head.
All the freaky faces. And then there was giant freaky faces, which is what the haunted mask Bjorn showed. Motion creatures, inksters, everything else on here got released, but glob faces I've never seen before.
So you want the giant freaky face, Nick? You can have it for $1,000.
$1 million. That's like that. So
I do have a trading card display.
I know
you're interested in.
I know you got that. I'm like highly debating.
I also have a Kingdom Hearts standee.
I still need to send you guys
Kingdom Hearts 2, actually.
I still need to send you guys the notepads.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I gotta send you something in return if you send me that. What do you want?
That
you want the Cookie Block of Doom Club?
I want the freaky face. Just kidding.
Oh, sorry, Nick. I'm getting a notepad for it.
No Kingdom Hearts 2 standee for you.
No, I need that Kingdom Hearts 2 standee. Please. I need it so bad.
Okay,
You gotta figure out how to get that to me.
Speaking of our episode with Austin, and just for context, that was our one talking about like unsolved Goosebumps mysteries, which was one that I really enjoyed doing. So the Spirit of the Harvest Moon was one of them. The other one is the Series 2000 book safe that came with the Lunchables giveaway, the Lunchables contest. I'm sure you have it.
Want to see it?
But there's a few people we know that do possess one. But it was only accessible through the Lunchables contest that happened in 1998, I think. But there's not much Series 2000 like merch overall. So another thing, the Count Chocula, Bjorn, you get this one down too. The Count Chocula hat that came with there
was a hat.
There was a Goosebumps hat that came in the I think it came with the Count Chocula cereal promotion they were doing for Series 2000.
No, there was a Series 2000 hat that you could
get through,
but it wasn't a Count Chocula Goosebumps hat. I mean, it was just a
No. I worded it wrong. I meant that it was just a Goosebumps hat you could get through Count Chocula.
Speaking of giveaways and all
I have
that
a cereal
stuff,
box. I just don't have the hat.
and cereal too, but like the VHSs too. And this is it cracks me up because I remember, like, you remember they always throw an insert or there'd be something in the package or whatever, and sometimes they'd have bonus and not just Goosebumps, but like. The other day I was at a thrift store, and you guys remember A Dinosaur Story?
Yeah.
Isn't that like We're Back?
Yeah, We're Back, A Dinosaur Story, Don Bluth. Okay. So it was brand new, sealed, and I already have a few of them, so I bought it. It was like $1. And so for shits and giggles, I just opened it, and I just didn't expect anything, and a couple pieces fell out. And dude, there was like an 8-pack of like little tattoos of We're Back, A Dinosaur Story.
I remember that. Yeah.
But it was like in the package and everything, and I'm just like, dude, like it wasn't on the packaging or anything for the movie. It was just in there, because it was brand new. And I'm like, that's so cool, man. Like, it's just little things like that you find sometimes. And thankfully, I was able to open it, but I would have never known if I didn't. So,
yeah,
little bits of serotonin.
There's
what that is.
I'm pretty sure that's the hat that you could get.
Oh, nice.
Count Chocula. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it looked like. I think on the box.
Yeah.
I've had that once.
I don't know. Is that the same one that comes with the fan club pack?
No, the fan club one is this one. It says Goosebumps. Fan
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, that's another thing. That fan club pack. We already did a whole episode talking about the Goosebumps fan club stuff, and really, anything from that is rare. Because it came with the fan club, but the Series 2000 one is definitely like the most rare,
the rarest.
Because
I've been looking for one for a while. Elvis got lucky getting that one off eBay because I didn't see it. If I would have saw it, I would have snagged it first. But
take it out of
his was complete and actually had something that I didn't see with any other fan club pack. But I think it's because what we were talking about when he was on here was because what did he say? It was like a preview one or something. Basically, like fan club pack given out to certain people who maybe already had a subscription from before and they're trying to get back or something. Not really sure.
It is,
but it was interesting.
Now you're just showing off.
That's the book safe.
Now you're just showing off.
Now I'm just showing off. And look, if you open it, I put my little planners in there. Because I was like, well, I need somewhere to put the little notebook.
That's cool.
You open it up, it says Lunchables.
That's cool.
Get that glare off it. Yeah.
For your friends at Lunchables,
it's cool, creepy what?
To hide place.
So this is really cool, and it's a fellow book and author that came out with Goosebumps, and you guys are all going to know what it is. I didn't know about it till like 3 weeks ago. You guys remember Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Oh, I think
everybody knows the illustrations scared the shit out of us, and the audiobook. Okay, so Apparently, there's only ever been one that's been sold that I have ever seen, and it was recent.
Mm-hmm.
There is a fan club coffin set of the scary stories. It's worth a lot of money, and there's not many at all out there in the world. But somebody had it and showed it off on their page a couple weeks ago, and I saw it, and I'm like, this can't be real. This is not real. There's no way. And they were showing through, and I was just so in awe. I was like, because it looked a lot like the Goosebumps one, the green one, but it wasn't. It was I can't remember if it was red or black, but it was just the coolest. I was like, man, like
I think it was black.
I think it was
Was
black.
it 90s? Was it 90s Kids Library?
I think it
I think
was.
he has it.
Yep. But it was this, it was just, I was in awe. I remember like texting it and I was like, dude, like that's a holy grail right there, man. Like that's the kind of stuff, man. It's like that watch from Fear Street. Like when you get it, sometimes it's just worth holding on to because you never know, like you never know when you're going to see that again.
Yeah,
They mean a lot. Well, there's that hat you were talking about, Isaiah. From
that's the hat. So that's the one that you could get with the Count Chocula.
Of course you have it.
Cereal.
No, this is just a fake. No,
it's not real. It's a cardboard. You just like flip it over.
There's the tag inside. Parachute, Goosebumps,
Parachute.
As long as it says that. But yeah, the hat's rare because this hat only was if you sent in that freaking box top. You could get.
Yep. Yeah, you had to send in a box top.
Dude, the box tops. Yeah.
The Series 2000, like the one that came in the Series 2000 pack, is a lot more common because I guess more people probably got the. Well, there's the Series 2000 pack, another rare item for you, but that was obviously a little more. This is freaking uncommon, but I've seen the hat pop up in random listings though, just separately. Like people that kept the hat, they might have thrown away the cardboard, which is the rarest part, the actual box, and all the little insert stuff. But the actual hat I've seen pop up a few times. So I guess that's something that kids did keep, because I mean, it's a hat. They would have wore it. So
yeah. I saw this. Is this a rare item? This like make and paint?
I got it.
I've never seen
There is one on eBay.
I've never seen that before.
I got it.
I
In my collection.
I've been watching
pictures.
it for
I
a
just
little bit.
found this. It looks like you paint little jars.
Yeah, you basically it comes with like the outer pieces, and then you put like the what do you call that stuff?
Well, they say it was a casket, something.
Creepy casket. And you
creepy
you
casket.
have the mold, like the mold that goes in the thing, and then you let it dry, and then it comes out, and then you paint
so it's almost
I've got them in the
I've never
collection,
seen that
and one
before.
hasn't been used. It's like new inside.
I just
We're
came
forgetting
across it.
something very rare that we haven't spoken about yet. Oh, wait, no, it's probably
I was going to bring that up because
probably on the list, right?
Well, first of all, I want to quickly
These little tumbler fingers.
I want to quickly get into
Yes.
the merch
These are
that was available at both Goosebumps Live on Stage and the Goosebumps Horrorland Fright Show at MGM, because just about anything from those shows is also rare, especially live on stage.
I'm not getting that stuff out.
No, that's totally fine. That's a lot of stuff to get out.
I can get the park maps. Okay, there's one thing I can get out because it's very accessible. Okay, but
Poor
some of the
Bjorn
stuff
getting his cardio
is
in today.
not
Well,
accessible.
there were like 2 different park maps, and I did get one thanks to Elvis. I think I'm missing the other one that's considered more rare.
Who's Elvis? I need to talk to
Goosebumps. He's been on our show a few times.
Oh, okay, yeah, he follows me. Okay, that makes sense. And then Adam will be talking, I'm sure. So, yeah.
But no, and
Yeah, I gotta talk to Adam too. I think I only need like 4 books to complete my True First original 62 set.
Talk to me first, Adam.
I'm having a few.
I'm just kidding.
There's only a couple that like I don't know why they're so rare. Like I found Welcome to Dead House True First in a great condition for fair price. Through I believe it was Adam as a matter of fact, but
yeah.
I think it was. It's been so long ago. Though.
Everything comes from you, Adam. I swear. Like all the little rare nitty gritty stuff.
So there's a park
Mine's
map
all the good shit.
that has.
Yeah, that's the park map I have. And the ribbon I'm still missing, but there is one on eBay I'm gonna try to get.
Of course, you put it in a frame. Of course, you have it in a frame. Of course, it's in a
the one on the
frame.
right, Portland one.
Both park
That one's
maps
harder to find.
Of
and the
course,
ribbon
of course
all
it is.
together.
And then there's this
Framed
shirt.
together.
Now, Bajorn, get those
That
signed
shirt,
by
I have
RL.
that shirt,
Mhm.
and I have a jumper version of that shirt. I have the T-shirt and the long sleeve version.
Bajorn, get that signed by RL.
This is
I know, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
what's
Adam
that?
has the rarest piece, though. He has the rarest piece.
yeah. This
Gosh.
Yeah.
this was like from one of the show's producers, like offices in Disney, I guess.
Oh
And
shit.
it's not like real signatures on there. It's just printed, but it's like a commemorative photo of
Ash Mill, yeah.
when the show opened.
How much is that worth?
I have no idea. I bought it for I think $250.
that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Because I knew it was like a one of a kind thing, and I plan on holding on to this for a long time, probably for
400. 400.
That's a key.
But, yeah,
Honestly,
Money talks.
dude, you could ask
Five.
any price for that. Like, you could literally ask any price for that, whatever someone's willing to pay, because it's like a
One off.
something. It was a one-off. Like the park maps. Like, yeah, like you find these. I mean, this one not so much. That one's rarer than that one. I've only ever seen the one,
yeah.
and the ribbon's rare. But like that is like a
I gotta,
yeah. I don't
I gotta
how many of
ask,
those were
'cause-
how many were printed, right? Like how many
Right.
were given out? We don't know.
let me ask you guys, because you guys obviously are way deeper in this part than I am. Where do you guys go? Because I go to the Goodwill, I go to the other stuff, but where do you guys go outside of eBay to find this stuff? Because obviously, like you guys have Elvis and a few other Adam,
Mercari,
you know. But where are you guys finding this shit?
Mercari
You know what I mean?
is a better spot than eBay.
What
it's
is?
basically Mercari?
Macari. Yeah, I know what Macari is. Yeah.
So that's been the place that's been kind of blowing up in terms of finding rarer stuff because, and usually you're probably going to find a better deal for things than eBay because eBay, you know, I feel like people inflate prices a lot over on eBay, and it's not like
The
this.
sneak preview tales to give you thing that's been inflated. I don't think it's worth quite so much what people are asking, to be completely honest.
What is?
I've seen a few of them
Sneak
pop up, and I'm
preview
like,
little, tales that give you goosebumps.
Oh,
I think that's something that shouldn't have been inflated to what it
A little
is.
mini book.
I think that's a little bit too inflated.
I've seen that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What are people trying to sell it for? I think I sold one of those for like maybe $40. So
It's a little book, right? The little one.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little one.
Yeah, that
It's
one's
gotten
gone
a
up a
pretty-
lot.
It's
That one's
gotten
gone
a
up a lot.
reputation
Yeah,
of
like
like the
40
rarest goosebumps.
$40 to $80, I think, is realistic.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Well,
people
what-
are asking
what
like
they were
100,
trying to
Dead ass
120.
saw somebody trying to
Oh,
sell
no,
it
it's
for
more than that.
$1,000. No joke.
Oh,
$1,000.
That's stupid. Like
Yeah.
that to
But no
me
one's
is
he
gonna-
did like he
No
put it
one's
up to
gonna-
auction so people would bid on it, and I can't remember what it went for, but it was nowhere near 1,000. It was like it still went for way more than it should have, I think. Like 300 something.
That's crazy.
Ridiculous. Inflation, baby.
I think that's what it was.
it just doesn't
I mean,
make sense
yeah,
for that
I-
item to be so rare.
Yeah.
It only takes one person. But
It's
if I
not
make
even
it-
that rare. I guess it's rare. I've seen it everywhere though. It's not that rare. It's not like you can go
Maybe-
search for it and find
Maybe it
one.
used to be, but like so many have been popping up lately that it in terms of rare items, it's a lot more common now.
Exactly. Yeah. It's and
Come on.
like, you know, now if you throw up the Disney thing, you know what I'm saying? Like that would probably go for 1,000. You know what I mean? Like if you, because it's a one-off thing.
Yeah.
You know, when you get one-offs and stuff like that, man, like that's, you know,
Yeah,
or
when it's
there's,
one
like
of one, you could really ask what you want for it
anything.
because there's nothing to compare it to.
Exactly.
So that I get.
But
You
I
know,
would
the
say
sneak preview
Mercari-
books, I don't know. It looked, yeah, okay. So I did look. It did end up going for $305 after 21 bids.
Jesus Christ.
Think how many
That's
schools
stupid.
were
That's
giving
To me,
ridiculous.
that's stupid.
Think how many
just-
schools were given those. They must have printed so many of those for so many schools for the kids. I'm like, there is no way.
But the other thing on top of that is like when it's getting that high, for anybody that's like either a real Goosebumps collector, right, or anybody that's in the fad itself, would know, like you got to know that those 21 people, probably half of those, or at least the top contenders, are people that don't even probably collect Goosebumps, because if they knew, they would not spend that type of money on that. I mean, they would have to know, like you said, like there are thousands of those books out there. Like they may not all be up for sale at once, but I've seen them on. I've seen one, or well, I've seen a couple, not lately, but I've seen them pop up on Shop Goodwill, and they're not unheard of. Like right now, they have I don't have them, but they have the Daughter's Bible. That's a bad example. They have the screaming button, the little booklet, whatever. There's like two of those up there. They've been up there forever because somebody's trying to sell one for like $99. But it's just like nobody's going to touch it. But it's just like, it just goes to show, like stuff pops up. And it really frustrates me when I actually a lot of times will call somebody out. Not just that, but there's been some like Jurassic Park stuff that I've wanted. And there's like a one of, or not a one of, but there's one that's maybe a little more rare. But it's like that person knows that at that particular moment, they're the only one or one of the two that have one up. So they're like, oh, I'm going to bump this thing up to like 1,000. And I'm like, bro, come on, man. The last one sold for like 300. Like, what are you doing? Like, you can wait all you want, but then another one's going to eventually pop up and be at 300. So like, you're just fucking everybody else over. Like, nobody's going to buy it, man. And then they get all snooty. Like, well, you don't have to buy. It's like, well, yeah, nobody's going to. That's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing. If you're in,
we aren't going to.
If I'm calling you out on it as a collector and telling you it's too much, it's probably not going to sell. Like, because most of us that are collectors, if it is rare, we are going to be the ones to spend that extra penny.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for real. But I mean, I'm telling you, man, like you'd be surprised. Like some of the stuff I've seen sell for the prices, like that sneak preview book, it baffles me. Like there's because I can sit there and tell people that too, but there's always going to be one person out there that thinks that's a great deal, and they will spend that money, whether they're a collector of Goosebumps or not. But if you're in the community, it's not worth that money. So it's like, dude, I mean, yeah, it's kind of rare. It'd be neat to have, but I'm not spending $300 on
and it's like,
baby book.
When I bought that Casper mansion, I spent $500 on it. Is it worth $500? No, it's worth $250. But it was also in Canada, so I spent over $100 in shipping. Right. So did I overpay for it? Sure, about $100. But it's also something I'm never going to get rid of. So, for me as a collector, like you guys said, I don't mind. I'm sure none of us we've all done it. You all pay that extra 100, whatever it is, just to have it because you want it. But when it gets to that ridiculous price like it is, like you said, if it's a $40 item, and they want $200-300 for it, and you're increasing it 200-300%. Like, no, that's just crazy. Like that's at that point, it's not even worth it.
Certain Goosebumps items, I'm like, yep, that's worth that. Like I've seen some of the stuff you sold, Guru, and I'm like, damn, that live on stage shirt, I really wanted that. The one with Slappy on it. I was like, damn, that thing I've never seen. I did want to
quickly go over all the different.
That's my photo. That's my photo.
Your collection.
So I have all that.
That guy's got to have such a cool collection.
Yeah, I know, man. But like, you see like all the different stuff like that Slappy plush. Like I want one of those. That friggin' like
it's like the only Goosebump plush that exists other than those.
One of those sold for a ton of money too.
I have the big face of Cuddles, the plush pillow.
Yeah,
I have that one.
Yeah.
I don't have Curly or Slappy, but I have. I have
all three with the tags.
Yeah, I have the. Of course you do.
Did you say Guru? You had you have that one shirt that I've never seen.
Well, I sold. You mean the black one that had Slappy on it?
Yeah, the black one.
Yeah. Yeah, that sold quickly. That one was really cool. It had like a raised like font on it too. But then this one I had for a while back in like 2021 with Slappy hanging on the front. That's like
that's cool.
That's the one I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I do have. That's the one I've got, and it's in like a so I have that, but mine's still sealed in its wrapper with the sizing on it. Like mine's never been taken out.
That's awesome.
It's sealed in the actual wrapper with the sizing still.
Adam, I don't know how we haven't found each other at this point. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right? I gotta look and see if
that black one. I've never seen that black one you had, Adam. I'd never seen that before, and that image, funny enough, we recently just discovered from Tim. Do you guys remember? He said he did that one, what do you call it? AI or what? How do we describe this? He did that one Goosebumps image. Digital, and that Slappy image is the only digital design he's ever done, and it was on that T-shirt. That was
wait. I gotta pull it up. I'm gonna pull up a picture.
So that was only used for a T-shirt they sold at the show. Like,
this one that has the tickets, right?
Yeah, that's it. He said with the hand out.
But yeah,
that's the one. That was the
digital,
only digital.
That's the one.
I didn't know.
That's the one.
I have the book. I have the musical book. The stage book
with the snake.
Yeah, with the snake. Oh yeah.
Another book that's sort of like become less rare over time because of how many are found now.
People started coming out with them.
Yeah, so it's like it's funny how things can become less rare when they used to be rare. Because that was one I always was like, oh, that's like the rarest one. And
well, sometimes I feel like sometimes it just takes that one person putting it up, and then everybody, there's like collectors out there that always are looking to see if there's another one out there before they put it up. Because sometimes I get that, like if you have something and you don't know how much it's really worth, and there's not really that have sold or many of them, you don't want to be the first guinea pig to put it up. But it's like then they put it up, and then all of a sudden there's 10 people that are like, oh, well, maybe that's what it's around worth, and then all of a sudden you start seeing more. There's a particular play set that I've been looking for a long time. It's hard to find, like you said, pristine in the box. It's the Gargoyles Castle play set, and it's really hard to find, and it goes anywhere from $700 to like $1,500 depending on the condition of the box. But about 2 years ago into last year, if you just typed it anywhere, you couldn't fucking find it. Like, good luck. And then all of a sudden lately, within like the last, I don't know, month, I've seen like 2 or 3 on the toy groups that I'm in. And I'm like, where y'all been, man? Like, like all of a sudden now they're popping up and searching. And of course, I'm not going to pay that money right now, but it's just ridiculous. Like, but that's how it works, man. It's like it comes in waves with stuff like that.
Yeah. No, it does. It really does. Like that sneak preview, as soon as I saw someone post that to be like, oh, this is the rarest book, that's when I saw a couple go up on eBay.
Well,
and I was like, crazy. Oh, okay. Here they all are.
It's crazy.
Like, now they're all those thousands that were given to the schools, all those kids are like, hey, I got that.
Yeah.
And it's like, all popped
There's
up.
There's 2 more items that I personally bring up, and I know one of them Bjorn's certainly been itching to get to. But first, I want to bring up the Welcome to Dead House audiobook, another audiobook, but it was the last in the. And funny enough, they're both tied up. Possibly they were sold primarily at the Disney World attraction, but the Welcome to Dead House audiobook is very, very rare. All the other ones, they're hard to come by, but the Welcome to Dead House one.
Can I see it? Because I have all the audiobooks.
Yeah, so it was.
Does anyone have the Welcome to? Okay, I'll go get it.
I want to see it because I have him, but the person who sent me them, dude, I know you all have gone through this, and I'm going to try to say without getting mad just thinking about it.
There we go.
But when you buy a really expensive item. Yes, I have that one.
Oh, you have it? Okay, so, you own a rare item then, friend.
So, yeah, I did. Well, I do, but this is what I'm going to say. So y'all know when you would think when you buy an expensive item, like when I got my Casper Mansion, guy packaged it immaculately, right? And then there's those other, you see Adam's already laughing. Then there's those other people that they're like, you know what? You just bought a picture 8x10 frame and glass. let me put it in a 2 foot by 2 foot box with no paper or anything in it. And then the UPS guy hands it to me, and all I hear is shattered glass. Right.
Oh my God.
So I bought these cassette tapes from this kid, right? And it had all those. It was like 5 or 6 of them, however it was back in the day. And it was ridiculously low. I think I got them all for like $25. Like he was just trying to get rid of them. And I was like, yep, no problem. It was Facebook Marketplace. And so like 2 weeks goes by. And I finally messaged him. I'm like, hey, man, like, did you send these? He's like, oh, yeah, sorry, couldn't find this or that. And I got them. I'm sending them now. They finally show up. They were literally, all he did was he took a piece of cardboard, he folded it around just enough to get it around, duct taped it. Then on the other sides, he just put 2 pieces of cutout cardboard that fit in that area. And when I got it, they were just like, the box was like diagonal, like somebody sat on it. Like God. It was so bad. And all I could hear was shink, shink, shink. And I open it. And it was unrepairable. I had to just throw away the inserts. Like the cassettes were okay, thank God. All the cassettes were fine, but the packaging and the inserts were just they were gone. And so now I have the cassettes. I have them all, but they're all missing. I got to rebuy them. And because I'm a perfectionist, I'm like, I need the boxes. Like I've got to have the full thing. And so you're not going to just find the insert somewhere. So I got to rebuy all of them again. So
that is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. Been there. Yeah. Been there. And that's one thing that gets me, like even something cheap, package it.
It's not hard. It's not fucking hard. Man.
Especially anymore, like I swear to God, dude, every mail service, it's not just USPS or whatever. I mean, it's all of them anymore because I've tried them all now. It's like they all want to be Ace Ventura in that first movie.
They don't care. They just don't care.
And jack up that box. Like, it's insane.
Well, and then I feel like
I bought a Return to Terror Tower, and it was like the photo was immaculate from this seller. And I bought for them before, but they didn't package it well. The other book, there was just like literally like a bubble envelope. I'm gonna throw it in there. Boom. Good luck. I'm like, okay. So I told him this time around, I was like, hey, I got another book. I got lucky, but can you package this better? Because this was a lot more expensive than the other book I got from. Sure. Oh yeah, sure. No, it came the exact same way. Bubble mailer. Only this time I could tell from the outside of the mailer that either the like machine through USPS or whatever just started bending the shit out of it. And sure enough, when I open it up, man, creases all over the book. I'm like, dude, I don't want this. They're like, oh, I'll give you partial refund. I'm like, no. I was like, I bought a pristine book because I needed my collection to be as pristine as possible. And that's what this was advertised as. Yeah. I was like, you did not package it well like I asked. I was like, just take it back. It's like resell
I bought a.
Thankfully, everything I get from Adam, he's really, really good with packaging books. So very much appreciate that. Go check out Goosebumps Crew because I swear, like, I hate buying from anybody else, even if they have 100% feedback. It worries me because most of the time they keep out.
You never know, right? I mean, my buddy Ralphie, I collect WWE like autographs and memorabilia as well, and he just has an insist for a lot of that stuff, and so I always go to Facebook Lives, and recently really been buying a lot from him, and it's one of those things where like I don't buy from people I usually don't know. I don't like to, especially with a lot of money, because I don't know how they package stuff. And Ralphie, I'll never forget the first one I got. It was a Rey Mysterio, signed him holding the belt. And, it's like a $40. It's not crazy expensive, right? But he put it in a top loader. He fucking wrapped it like 3 times with double tape. And then he put it inside an actual cardboard, inside the double, like, it was immaculate. And I was like, see, this guy gets it. Like, he understands, like, he wants his people to get their shit straight, especially when you're dealing with like a piece of paper like that,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought a bunch of top loaders just for 8x10s and stuff like that in case, like, you know, for instance, when we have guests on here and they send us autographs or something to either, you know, we originally it was for our Kickstarter event, you know, to try to give out free autographs for people who had bought into the Kickstarter. But, you know, so we had a few extra, but like, or any of them I can get extra for fans or guests that we've had on here before who've asked, you know, but like, dude, I swear, like, it doesn't cost much to just spend a little extra time, bottom line. And it's like, yeah, I don't understand it, especially if you're a collector yourself and you're selling this item. I mean, would you feel comfortable sending it out the cheapest way of just like throwing it in an envelope and sending it?
I see, and that's the thing. I just don't understand. Like, even when I send you guys these notepads, right? Like, and I've already told you guys that some of them, the glue had come loose, you know, because they're just old, you know, they're 30 years old. So it's going to happen just like a toy figure. It's the same thing, that stuff happens, but it's still avoidable, you know, when you put everything around it to support it, you know. And I would just never understand, as a collector, somebody just throwing something in a box or a bubble wrap, or like even my buddy Chef, I stopped buying toys from him because over the last like 6 packages I got a couple years ago, some pretty expensive stuff, like, you know, $50, $100 toys, like they're not cheap, you know. And when you get them in a box and he just threw in like, you know, like this much bubble wrap in between them, you know, like there's no support. I'm like, dude. And I took a picture. I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? I'm like, these are all like, there's bent corners. And I'm like, this is not how this is supposed to go, you know? Mm-hmm. And, but Goosebumps especially, like, because Goosebumps is one of those lines where it's a very big collectible, you know, just fan base as far as the toys and everything goes. And so everything's a little more expensive than a normal toy line. Like I can go get Jurassic Park stuff on my line super cheap. Like honestly, like there's so many they mass produced, right? Goosebumps doesn't like that. They mass produce some stuff, but not a lot of it. Yeah, outside of the books.
Well, 96 was the year we got the mass produced stuff, and that's it. And
that was it.
I just discovered why that's rare. This didn't come out in 96.
It came out in
97,
exactly. And
it was a later release, hence
why?
And back to the point at hand, that was the only tape in that lineup that was not advertised with the rest. It actually
came out later.
People don't even like know it exists. They just know the 6 that do exist.
Someone actually found a library copy of one. Like, so you're gonna have your heart broken.
Not checking that back in.
Oh, you're gonna have your heart broken though. Like, so it was a makeshift box, and they cut the corners and just stuck the front in one, the side and the back. So they destroyed the packaging.
Why would you do that?
Into this like thicker like plastic box thing. And
how they close it. Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, so they cut the corners and they've ruined it. And I'm like, I mean, I guess back then it was like, it didn't matter because it wasn't rare yet, but they still, you know, they did it. And I'm like,
I mean, I guess the cool part of that nostalgia is, you know, that it's a library copy and that there's probably a one-off that, you know, not many libraries probably have that. So it would be cool to own it, but you're still pissed and you want to slap the person that did it. You know?
Yeah, like why? Because obviously you couldn't borrow them out like that, I guess, which was kind of, you know,
right.
Well,
they had to do it that way, but.
And I'm wondering too, because I've heard, you know, rumors that they were only available at the Disney World attraction, so that you could only get them at certain, you know, places, and they weren't like widely, you know, printed, widely advertised. Certainly not. And another thing, I guess, you know, the last thing that's on my list is the Goosebumps Series 2 collectibles.
I didn't get them all out.
No, that's totally fine. But there was.
Before you jump in, I just want to show Adam. There you go. So there's my shirt, and it's still got the barcode that says Slappy.
No way.
Goosebumps.
So we're just flexing now. But there's
so what's that from?
The Live on Stage show.
So this is when they would have like This is when you would have said, "Oh, what size are you, hun?" And they would have like pulled this out, and they would have. So that is literally the unopened version of that shirt. But it'd be nice to find that other one. Yes.
If they had that shirt,
Nick can flex that one, and I'll flex this one.
if they had that shirt in an adult size, I would have never gotten rid of it. I love that shirt. So
This
cool.
was a small.
Yeah.
So
is that one of the Scream boxes?
no, so that's so one of the little collectibles. So those are the little figures that have the base, and then you press the button and they scream. So there was the first line that came out. Everybody knows about those ones. There's the Slappy, the Mummy, the Mud Monster, Curly, whatever. But they had a second wave that came out, and again, I think it was only available to buy at the Disney World attraction, or just like
That's what we're guessing.
That's what
Disney,
we're guessing. Certainly,
But
that's
see,
where you
now-
could find them.
Disney, and then apparently
$5.
some overseas store or something, because you can find ones
Australia.
with the little tags on here that cover up. Because what Bjorn has there, like on the front of his, where it says "Open for a Scream," it's still under here. They just cover it up with a sticker. So I don't know if these were like leftover that they try to sell to another location when the Disney stuff went down. I'm not really sure, because I don't know anything about like overseas. Like this is, I believe, the Italian or French. Piccoli Bravidi.
Yeah, I'd say if there's no other Italian writing on there, that's probably the case.
No, they literally just used a sticker to cover up that "Open for a Scream" splat, and they put this on there instead.
But
So you'll find some with this, and you'll find one like Bjorn's where it doesn't have that.
So this is the entire second wave. So there was, as Nick is holding up, there's a Haunted Mask one, and then Bjorn has the Horror Camp Jelly Jam, which mistakenly labels Buddy as King Jelly Jam.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah,
But it's because the book
like
cover
how
was
the Say
iconic.
Cheese and Die one, the Curly one said the book was Say Cheese and Die, but Curly's not in Say Cheese and Die. At least, unless you want to consider one of the skeletons in the dream sequence Curly, something like that. But yeah, so you have Haunted Mask and Horror Camp Jelly Jam, and then the other four you have Night and Terror Tower at the Executioner, Attack of the Mutant with the Masked Mutant, Scarecrow Walks at Midnight with the Scarecrow, and the Abominable Snowman at Pasadena with the Abominable Snowman. So those
Which
are
is my least favorite of the group.
$5.
Like, I would love to have right? If only.
Only could go back in time and buy 100 of those, right?
Would you believe I got
I
this
will say,
set of
like-
these for about $100 before anyone knew they were rare?
Ridiculous.
$100, all of them.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did, man. Yeah.
this dude is a walking humble brag. I'm serious.
For real.
The humble bragging.
It's more like a passive.
I told you guys.
brag.
I told you guys my Street Sharks, my Street Sharks experience as a kid, right? At KB Toys. I went in there one day with I had $5. My dad gave me $5. He said, "All right, you find a toy." Of course, as a kid, I was in there for like 45 minutes, couldn't figure out what I wanted. So I went over into this clearance section, okay, and they had a Walkman with headsets, like a little radio set for $5, $4.99. And then next to it, there was a Street Sharks, but they made these like space editions. And it was like $4.97. I'll never forget. It was all crossed out like the old school ones were. And I was deciding between these two. And I got the Walkman. And so years later, like 10 years ago, I just for shits and giggles remembered that story in my head. And I was just like, I wonder, and I looked up how much the space Street Shark goes for. It was like $2-3 grand. And I can't be too mad at myself because I was like 10 and I would have destroyed that package anyway. And so obviously looking back, I would have been mad at myself anyway, but at least I would have said, hey, I had it. But it's one of those things that it's like the Goosebumps slippers. I wore the shit out of those. I know I destroyed those. So,
Well, it's like,
Even
when
small
you're a
merch they
kid,
did.
you don't think about keeping things packages or thinking
Except for
one day it's going to
Bjorn.
be worth $1,000, you know?
Bjorn will do it. Bjorn.
So-
Except for Bjorn.
Yeah, except for Bjorn, I guess.
Bjorn, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not good at
Because
keeping
I mean,
this
same.
silent
Like
day.
I opened everything. Like I had, like you said, like I also had a lot of Jurassic Park. I still have it. It's just not boxed or anything. But like I
Right.
had the Command Compound and the
Oh, yeah.
T-Rex.
I was just going to say Command
the
Compound.
young T-Rex. So that had the removable damage piece, and I still got all that. It's
Oh,
still
yeah.
all complete and everything. I'll never sell it, but it's just one of those things. Like I wish I had the box because now I see what they're going for. It's like, oh shit.
They're not cheap.
So,
I had it.
no, they're not cheap. I mean, anything like play sets though from that time period, like we talked about earlier with the Casper or gargoyles, that stuff, man, is crazy expensive.
Yeah,
And
it's
I just
it's hard to
don't make
find.
tools like that anymore. And it's nostalgic to a lot of people. That's why
Well,
we have this podcast. Nostalgic.
Shame
stuff.
on you guys for not keeping your first edition Charizards. Shame on you.
Yeah, well,
I
that
was only
too.
4
I
at the
actually
time.
did
You guys
have
were old enough to think, hey, I'm going to keep these. I was 4 when those cards came out.
You want to know something that'll make you really mad, Bjorn? So when I was in the 5th grade, no, I used to. When I was in the 5th grade, I was obsessed with Charizard. Okay, I even have a shirt that has my grandma's business on it, and it's my face. I have this huge Charizard shirt. I was like 9. So I had this binder, okay, and I was obsessed with first edition cards. And when I tell you that I had 2 full pages of Charizards and Dark Charizards and Blaine's Charizards, literally holographic, non-holo, 2 full pages. And one day, I was like 12, I don't remember. I was like, I don't like Pokemon anymore. And so I just gave them to a kid who played, not a you know, you don't think about those things 20 years down the road, you know. I wish somebody would have been like, you idiot, and where I could go back in time and like slap myself and be like, go ahead and cry, but you're going to keep these, you know. Because that binder, and they were nice.
Mansion one day.
They were nice.
just-
I pulled half of those cards, and I kept those cards nice. I'd probably have over $100,000 in that fucking binder.
I just imagine you sitting at like a light, like at the lights in your car, and this like Ferrari pulls up, and the window goes down, and it's your mate that you gave the cards to.
And he's like, "Hey, bro, remember me?" Yeah.
It's got like one of the cards and like a lanyard thing like around his neck.
Dude, it's still, there's so many toys I had, or almost like the stuff like that I'm like, I've talked to my dad about it, and he's like, I wanted to throw those goddamn cards away. And I'm like, yeah, because I left them everywhere, you know, but he's like, yeah. And I said, and then I showed him how much they were worth, and he was like, holy shit, man, you idiot, why didn't you keep them? I'm like, wait, that's my point.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, what have you?
I'm like, that's, yeah, I was like, yeah, it's, but I think part of the, I think part of the nostalgic part for us as like our age is obviously, I think, being a parent of 4, and I know you guys that have kids will understand this, that this generation, they're just not bred to play with toys. They're not bred to want to play with physical attribute of toys that their focus. So I think that I think internally as adults now, we understand that we are truly going to be probably the last generation, at least in our lifetime, that is going to have had the experience of playing with those toys like that. And so, like, you just go to like a Target now, you know, I'd say Target's probably the only one left out of the big store corporations outside of like Toys R Us and stuff like that, that has an actual still full-size toy section. But if you go to Walmart, Fred Meyer, anywhere around the US, they keep shrinking. They're all shrinking because kids are playing with less and less toys. And so it's really sad, but I think our generation is understanding, the millennials, that we're the last ones. We're the last ones. And so I think we hold on to that, especially like Goosebumps, you know, because it's you're just not going to see it anymore.
Well, that's just the thing is like,
When you think about it, that makes a lot of sense because, I mean, one, all the toy stores started to go under. I mean, it was such a sad day the last time I walked into a Toys R Us knowing it was their last day to be open. It was crazy. just because I knew like I'd never be here again, never take my daughter here. She wouldn't take her kids in the future. Nothing like, yeah, I know they're like in Macy's or whatever now, but it's not the same. They have one little like section or something somewhere.
Yeah,
and
it's very small.
It's very small. It's nothing like what we experienced going to a Toys R Us.
It was
or even
huge.
KB Toys or anything that we're all familiar with of toy stores. Hills. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I mean, like, their whole thing was Hills are where the toys are.
Yeah.
So, you know,
There's a
it's
store
like
here called Toy
well,
Mate.
it's crazy.
Well, all the
So you have like these stores or like Toy Pit in Indianapolis I mentioned earlier where they sell toys. But I mean, like, what you see in there isn't kids going in there. Most of them are adults.
Adults. And it's so funny you say that.
Now changing toys to a collector's market rather than actual kids playing with toys. It's wild to see the change because it goes right into what you said with millennials doing that. So now all the kids are grown up and they have grown up money. Well, we like to think it's grown up money, but the government takes it all. So what we can spend on toys is like super expensive though. Everything like we want.
Well, and it's
Dino Riders is rare for me. Like I'd really love to get some Dino Riders, but like when I see the prices of those, I'm like,
Dino Riders.
Goosebumps takes all my money, so I was like, there goes that.
It's hard, man. It's hard. I think like when I went into Target the other day, I had to take my kids in there because it was my nephew's birthday, and so I had to get him a present. So I'm over there, and obviously, like, I know what he's into, and I'm searching up and down these aisles, and every aisle I go down, there's a mid 30, 40-year-old dude, just looking at the stuff. And it just made me smirk. It made me happy, but it also made me sad at the same time that, not that we're all depressed, but I just think that the way the world is, the way the world
we
is
very much are
today,
depressed.
it's like, it's become, I'm going to kind of reference it to this, and not that it requires like marriage or anything, but you guys have probably heard about that video that went around not too long ago about the guy with the spool of wire, and his wife was like, because he was sitting there and he was kind of emotional about it, and she was like, why are you emotional? And he was like, I've had the spool of wire for like 20 years, and it's just crazy to think that it's almost gone. Like, I've had this for 20 years. It was like nostalgic to him, and she didn't understand that, and so she got lit up, obviously, in the comments, and it blew up all over the internet, but it was kind of like a man's treasure kind of thing. And it reminded me of this, of like, this is where us as collectors, that's how we think of a spool of wire. It's like our toys. We look at our toys and we're like, that's why it makes us emotional, because it's like, this is all we have left, of those glory days of being able to just be free and all that.
And that's exactly why we can sit here now and, talk about all this, this stuff. And we've talked about tons of items today. That's not even scratching the surface of the amount of merchandise that exists in the Goosebumps, it just not even just the 90s, but like even now, like Goosebumps merch is making a comeback. There's board games, there's figures.
Figurines coming soon.
Yeah, and it's just it really is like
I hope so.
Like it just
what's coming?
The Trick or Treat Studios figures.
Oh yeah.
They're even coming out here in Australia. Like, there's stores that are listing them.
They're probably coming there first.
Yeah.
Oh well, we got the pop vinyls pretty much. Like, I got them before any of these guys got them. That was weird.
Of course you
That was
did.
very weird.
But just like the joy of like going into a store and seeing like just these little items, it just brings you so much joy. And that's why we can sit here for hours on end and talk about this kind of stuff, because it's just and even just talking about it is just such a thrilling sort of experience. Because
how a grown man can get excited over a sticker.
Over a sticker, yeah. Adam, before we go ahead and wrap things up, because I don't have anything else to talk about, but I guess might as well ask you, are there any other super rare Goosebumps items that you ever come across or even sold?
Show us.
Yeah, the last thing that I meant to show off earlier when we were talking about Mr. Mortman, I posted this on my Instagram, but this shirt.
Whoa!
Yeah,
man,
which is awesome. There's nothing
That's dope.
That is super
funny story
cool.
about that shirt.
Is it vintage? Like, it's a vintage, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's a The
Parachute.
tag. I don't know. Hold on. Let me check if there's a parachute.
I'm assuming
Oh, on the-
96.
On the bottom.
So
96.
I was gonna say there should be something.
Yep,
There we go.
1995,
Yeah, 19 parachute. Yep. There it is. Hold her tight.
Oh, yeah.
Hold that one tight.
'Cause I barely.
That's a $100+ t-shirt right there.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we didn't.
Well,
even,
funny enough, there is so Bjorn had me get one of these shirts for him, and it was like $50 or something. But then it got lost in the mail.
oh no!
They claim to have looked for it, and it's never shown up. And that's been God, when was that? It was last year, the year before. I can't remember. It's been a while.
That's
Had a few
so needless to say,
packages disappear.
disappeared. Yeah.
But I will say there is one in the package with the tag attached, like kind of like the shirt Bjorn showed earlier of the Mortman shirt. And I think it was like $100. It's on eBay. I mean, I've been tempted to get it, but I was just like, I spent the money on the haunted mask one.
Might be
It had
gone
a tag.
tonight.
It wasn't the bag, but like I have it framed. I just haven't put it on the wall yet.
Nice.
Dope.
Tag stuck inside the shirt though because it was covering
You should
haunted
have,
mask. Harley. I could have that.
Catherine sign that.
Oh, wait. Yeah, you should have a sign. Well, you're going to get a lot of things signed by Catherine, I'm
I
assuming.
have so many things I would love for her to sign. Like I've got her autograph on a couple photos, but like
So you were saying
so the posters that are behind me, like that one's a giant poster from the VHS display in Australia. So is this giant cardboard box display that I got both those from Bjorn. Although somehow here in America, apparently this was the size of ours because, yeah,
See,
got the correct date on it and everything, but it's itty bitty. But
people
I paid a
down
pretty
under
penny
were
for
like,
that.
no. Make it
Everything
bigger.
else is bigger in
Mate, it's
Australia.
too small, mate. Make it bigger.
I would love to have her.
Make that fucking thing bigger, mate.
You think in America everything's bigger? You think they would have?
I'm saying,
Australia's got us beat. Haunted mask posters.
they had,
Those
they had a lot of cool shit. in the
everything.
VHS
Fucking
stores.
dooms.
Those it's those hidden drug lord companies, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
But
Like, yeah.
that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we barely scratched the surface of Goosebumps merch here today, but we did want to give a highlight to some of the rarest things out there, and it's probably not even all of them. Like, we could probably revisit this topic sometime. And if you guys at home want us to talk more about Goosebumps merch, just in general or any specific topics, let us know in the comments below. Like, we'd be happy to talk more about this stuff because seriously, there's a lot of content that we can get out of just the merch alone. So without a doubt, we would be happy to do more. But let us know down below if you'd like to see more of that from us. But we are going to call it here tonight for the Goosebumps Crew podcast. I want to give super special thanks to Adam and Tyler, Goosebumps Guru and 90s Kid Throwbacks, for joining us tonight. Thank you both so much for hopping on with us and talking some Goosebumps and some collecting.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to have you guys back on again as always. So we'll keep you guys in touch. But you guys at home can go follow both of these awesome guys at Goosebumps Guru and 90s Kids Throwbacks on social media. You can find them both on Instagram. Goosebumps Guru's got his own eBay shop. So if you want to get some good Goosebumps items over there, and maybe even some of the ones we've discussed today, you never know. You could probably find him over on his eBay shop, so check him out. And Tyler, you can
True story. He finds some rare shit somehow. I don't know how he does it.
Rare shit. He gets some good
I don't
stuff.
find anything.
It's a lot
I might
of
find like a reprint of a book somewhere. That's it. I don't find
And it's
nothing.
a reprint.
A reprint. Yeah.
Just
A
to
lot
be
of
more
marketing.
sad.
He's gonna be the one to go find. So check him out, and you can follow Tyler over at 90s Kids Throwbacks. He's on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm pretty sure that's all of them, right? I always forget if that's just those three.
They're out
Awesome.
there.
So I'll leave links to all their socials in the description below as always, so check them out. You can also, as always, follow Bjorn and Nick at Goosebumps, Aussie Fan, and Sean, respectively, on their social medias and their YouTubes. If you like today's episode, make sure you leave a like and comment. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe, hit that bell notification, Follow us on our audio platforms and social medias. All those links are in the description below, so check them out and join us today. We'll have another episode for you next week, but until then, this has been the Goosebumps Crew Podcast, and from all of us here, I want to wish you all as always to take care, stay safe, and have a very scary day.